Hello everyone, Zelrant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, as we're approaching the Taurus Cup starting in the next couple days, I thought I'd kind of just showcase where I'm sitting regarding my aces going into it, to kind of give you a baseline of what an average Uma may be going into the finals. As someone who has spent quite a bit of money to make sure I had MLB Ketis Black and 3-limit break Super Creek, alongside having pretty much every SR at this point, MLB, and then also investing a lot of stamina pots. As you can kind of see here, I'm down to 50 when I had like over 100, trying to make my ace alongside my parents. Now, 9 is by no means a really, really good one. I still think it's maybe a little bit above average, but it can kind of give you an idea to know where you're sitting when it comes to your aces going into the champions meeting. Because at this point, I'm pretty much done making my aces, and I'm working on my debuffer. I have a debuffer, but I definitely want to get something better than it because it did not come out near as good. So we'll take a look at that. And then I'm also I'm now using all my borrows for making my parents and grandparents for the next champions meeting, which I'll showcase those a little bit here too, to kind of show you what I'm working with regarding my next CM's parents and grandparents. And so let's go ahead and take a look. And now just know, like I said, I've spent quite a bit of money on this game to get where I'm at. So if you're just below where I'm at, that's going to be like a majority of the population. You still will, if you're close to it, or even if you're better than it, you have a very good shot of getting into the finals and even winning them. But even if you don't, you'll still, like I said, you'll still place. Getting gold, silver, and bronze is also an achievement in my eyes, even if as a free-to-play. So even if you can't win the whole thing, just know you can still get a reward, and you get carrots out of those rewards. If you don't really care about the trophies themselves, there are carrots attached to them as well. And so we'll look at my veterans here. So the one that I finally decided to sit on right here, I just got it not that long ago. And so I was able to max cap my speed on this one. The biggest thing I was missing on the original one I had is I did not have a shooting for victory or the red line skill. Only had let's pump some iron, which in testing on races, if it hits, it did very well. But if it didn't hit, it was a dud, and she just gets blown by because she doesn't have the excel. And so this kind of covers everything on the excel side. As long as I pass the wit check, my wit's a little bit lower than I'd like, but at least I'm over the 300 mark. Stamina at 820, guts at 306, but I do have the double stamina skills here, so that's very important to make sure I can cover my stamina side of things. Got the medium S, and power was a little bit lower than I'd like, but I was lucky enough to have firm conditions pop from, I believe the Super Creek gave it to me on a hint, and that kind of topped it up to 832 on the power going into it. That's pretty good. That's kind of covering that 800s, which is like the main target. I would really like to have 1,000 in both of these, but man, my parents just are not good enough to pull it off. These are like the numbers, like that. Even when I have like a high roll, this is where it gets to around. I can probably push it a little bit higher to the 900 ranges with like a perfect roll, but it's not, the amount of effort it put into it is not worth it. I was able to get a couple skills in here, ramp up and slipstream, which was pretty nice. And now the two skills that I always mentioned, that are very big because they can bring you above the speed cap. I could not, no matter how many times I run it, I could not get the medium spark and then pull off left-handed or spring runner. Spring runner and left-handed, the big ones together, and have good stats. It just never came to be. This run in the URA final, I did trigger from one of the races a long shot, and so I didn't have anywhere else to put the skill points on there skill-wise. And I decided to take it because it is the same thing as spring runner and left-handed if you're the 4th favorite or below. And one of the things that I've seen doing practice races with a lot of other people and their aces, for some reason I'm always like the 4th or below. I've never seen myself as 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. And so this will effectively work the same way as long as I am the 4th or below. Now, if I'm the 3rd, 2nd, or 1st, I've already got a good shot just from the fact that my stats are a lot higher than others to put me in that 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. So I decided to go with it and take it, and I think it'll work nicely to kind of top up that speed to give me a better shot. But we'll see. It's kind of a gamble with that one, but we'll see what happens with that. Ramp up, slipstream, they are what they are. Shooting for victory and let's pump some iron. If they both trigger, are basically what should hopefully carry her to victory in the end. Now, I've done a ton of runs on her, as you can see here. You can actually see my nice nature that I built here, which I probably should carrot her, even though I'm probably going to get something better here. Funny enough, she ends up getting medium S and left-handed, of course. Of course, my debuffer gets left-handed and medium S. I don't know. This game just likes to screw me. And I was able to put Lone Wolf on her. Very important, so no one else can take advantage of Lone Wolf. It's basically the same thing as Spring Runner and left-handed and all that. But if two people have it, it just gets nullified. So you put that on your, put it on her. No one else can take advantage of that. And then I just got as many debuffs as I could on her, as high of wit and speed as I could, stamina. She just has to keep up long enough to put out her debuffs, and then she's going to die and fall into the back at the end of the race. I'm going to continue. This is like what I'm working on at this point. I don't like how many debuffs I have here, but that's kind of my goal there. Now, my other Uma, which in practice runs has one, not as often as I'd like, but has one, will be a Taiki Shuttle. She was my pace chaser that I built. The biggest negative on her, is it's probably fairly obvious, is she's a little low on power. That's what kind of kills her at the very end, is her lack of power ultimately is her weakness. But she's got plenty of stamina. She has survived like every test race I've done, even with multiple nice natures against me. So she's as good as it's probably going to get. I've pretty much stopped after I got this one. She has red shift, shooting for victory. I did get left-handed on her, so her speed does go over cap on that. Firm conditions kind of helps with this. It gives 40, so it actually brings this up to 670 on power. Still fairly low on power. Professor of Curvature, ramp up, and then our stance. So she's just got to get lucky on the wit checks on everybody else being terrible. My gold ship should be able to beat her unless gold ship's wit checks fail, so she's kind of my backup, but still a decent second ace to kind of go into it. And she has, in some of the practice runs, won the races, especially if she gets that front runner advantage, where if there's no front runner, she takes the place of that in the pace chaser. So that one's pretty nice there. And that's pretty much it. You can kind of see some of the other gold ships I have built to kind of get an idea. So this one was the last one I built. Was very similar to my the top one, except I did not hit max speed on it. This was the one I was trying to improve on. Had 836 power. This one was doing and has won some of the practice races. Has about the exact same power my other one has, because this one... Oh no, it has a little bit more power because it has firm conditions on this one. So, a little bit more power than my current ace, but has lower speed and lower stamina. So, this one's definitely weaker than it. I did not pull off getting gate kept on my other one, which kind of sucks. But gate kept is actually a buff for gold ship in that it makes her delay and stay in the back end. Tokyo Race Course was kind of to try and make up for the stamina here, but the fact that I did not have the speed, I don't have left-handed spring runner or anything here, this one was pretty weak, but could win. But I definitely consider this one worse than my current ace. And then you have the original ace, I think, that I had built right here. Hit 819, 860 in stamina, 1200 speed, head tail held high, medium corners, firm conditions, and even left-handed on this one. Really nice one, except this one does not have anything other than let's pump some iron, and that's what really, I think, screws this one. In test runs, it's just unreliable. If she hits it, it's great, but if she can't hit it in the 6th place, she's dead in the water. No excel, and she's going to lose. And this one only has a corner recovery. Now, I did have... Actually, that's not the main one. Okay, this isn't the one I was thinking of here, actually. So I had that one... I've run this so many times. And this one. Okay, so this was the other one. 1200, 831, 823. As you can see, that 800 range is like the top that I can get with the cards that I have. Had a lot of skills here. Only has let's pump some iron. Has both those. Standard distance, so pretty good on stamina. Has pretty good on power. But it's missing that extra one. Let's pump some iron is just not reliable enough. While it's very good, you're not always going to hit it, so having that backup is really good to kind of give her some excel in the end. So overall, this one has been dropped just from the fact that it doesn't have that, even though I think it's overall good everywhere else. But as you can see, that was kind of my stat caps. I could not pull off getting it really higher than that, and these are with really high rolls. And so overall, that is where I'm standing when it comes to the Taurus Cup. Now, some things, and this is why you'd want to really pay attention, and even if your ace does not get the spark on medium, and on that second inspiration, do not just immediately give up on it. And now you just turn it into a parent run and then just start doing all the races. You're going to dominate all the races because you've put so much into the stats. And the reason you want to convert them into parent runs after the fact is because you can pull off something like this. I think this one, I believe here. So this one was failed because it did not get medium S. But you can see I just kind of threw some random skills on here, standard distance and all that. You might think, well, what's so good about this one? And that is because even though it's failed as an ace, there's always potential for it to be a good parent/grandparent. And this one came out just perfect for kind of a starting point in building my legacies going into the Gemini Cup, because it gave me a power 3-star, long 3-star, standard distance, which is going to be massively important in the next one. Standard distance and Kyoto race course are going to be very important because of the stamina requirements. And they can overcap your stamina even when it's maxed. And then I got corner recovery. One of the things too is because you're going to want to try and get such high stats in the next one, you're going to basically be able to do no extra races. And so any discounts you can get on the skills is going to help. And corner recovery, you're going to need swinging maestro going into that. So if we can hit that, nice discount on that skill there. This one, nothing really too crazy there. URA finals also going to be a massive one, although I would like more than 1 star. These sparks are what are going to carry you into that, being able to get speed and stamina max capped both together. Now, 3 stars is definitely what you want, and that's what I'm actually, when it comes to the borrows I'm using, I'm looking for ones that have 3-star, 3-star here, URA final 3-star, plus something like standard distance or Kyoto race course, and maybe some recovery skills in it. Those are my borrows, because those are absolutely going to be the most important in the next one. So this is why you always do not just give up immediately after that second inspiration. Just play it through. And then when it comes to picking skills, maybe look at what skills might be better for the next Champions meeting. Or even maybe not the next one, but the next couple. There's other mediums that'll be coming out. So always kind of pay attention to what you get when you come out on the back end, because you could get something good out of it overall. And so this gold chip's kind of a really good starting point. I don't know if it'll end up being a grandparent, but it might end up being that, depending on if it's the best I can get. But that's pretty much at that for now. That's kind of overall my account. One thing that you may have noticed when I actually went over here is TM Opera, which I originally didn't have in my account if you watch my streams. One thing I've kind of started doing as someone who's a spender now that we're past the Super Creek banner, and the only big things I have really coming up in the future are pulling for Uma's Seiyun Sky, Summer Rune Zensky, and then Christmas Ogre Cap. I'm actually now doing the daily pull every single day, and this one, I just so happened to pull an Ogre, or TM Opera right here, and so I have her on my account now. But yeah, overall, everything's going pretty good. This is kind of, I'm only more of a dolphin / spender on this, not a super whale. The super whales have like MLB all SSRs, while I just have like the main ones, and then kind of use that flexibility to borrow others. But yeah, that's overall what you can expect going into this Champions meeting, and a kind of a quick look at my account. If you want to see me doing runs and stuff, I stream almost every day at this point now, doing different runs and kind of research when it comes to the other Champions meetings and stuff. And you can kind of just come in and join for a little bit, and I'm willing to pretty much answer any questions or talk with anybody in chat at that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. That's me going into the Champions meeting coming up. We'll see what ends up happening. I will be streaming everything, all of my statuses as we go through the Champions meeting. I will stream me actually looking at the status and watching the final race when that eventually happens. But yeah, that's it for now. And if you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.